We live in a reality filled with constant distractions and worries, and it's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned thinker of antiquity and leader of the Roman Empire, reminded us of an essential truth. The strength over our mind is within ourselves. We cannot command the events around us, but we have the ability to decide how we react and deal with these events within our heads. The common experience of a mind full of noise and endless thoughts is something we all encounter at some point in our lives. The frustration of being stuck in an endless cycle of repetitive thoughts, the indecision that paralyzes us, and the feeling of being overwhelmed by constant analysis are challenges many face. The problem with overthinking is that it keeps us in a state of continuous worry about the future or the past, instead of allowing us to fully enjoy the present. We find ourselves trapped in a spiral of what-ifs that prevents us from making clear decisions and living peacefully. Modify your way of seeing gratitude. Transforming your perspective to gratitude can change our minds, which can often be treacherous, leading us through a maze of overanalysis about what we lack, what could go wrong, or what we have not yet achieved. This is an endless cycle that can leave us tired and dissatisfied. Overthinking often arises from focusing on the negative aspects or what has not yet happened in life, overshadowing the good things that are already present. Seneca once mentioned that true happiness is of the present, without anxiously depending on the future. This Stoic wisdom impels us to shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from overanalysis to gratitude. It is about recognizing the value of the present moment and the many blessings we often overlook when we're busy worrying about what's to come. The practice of gratitude lifts us out of the mazes of our minds and places us firmly on the fertile ground of the present, where life truly happens. To make this shift, start by acknowledging 3 things you are grateful for each day. They don't have to be grand, just true. They can be as simple as a tasty cup of coffee, the comfort of your favorite sweater, or a message from a friend. This simple practice can redirect your mind from the cycle of overanalysis to a sense of appreciation for what is right now in your life. By grounding yourself in gratitude, you are not only silencing the noise of overthinking, but also enriching your daily experience. Gratitude amplifies the positive in our lives and can slowly transform our internal dialogue from one of scarcity to one of fullness. Over time, this new perspective can change how you face life's challenges, turning them into opportunities to recognize and appreciate even more what is already good in your world. It's not just about feeling better in the present moment, but about building a foundation of contentment that can sustain you through life's inevitable ups and downs. Have you ever reflected on how overthinking can pull us away from the present moment? Marcus Aurelius taught us that despite external events beyond our control, we can always choose how to react internally. So, leave a comment. I have power over my mind. Leave this comment, and I will show my appreciation, reminding you that you are on the path to a more peaceful and present life. Now that you've commented, let's continue. 2. Embrace transience and practice detachment. Let's be honest, our heads often get stuck in a cycle of reliving past events or worrying about what's to come. This is the realm of overthinking, where thoughts stick and linger longer than we'd like. It's a challenge that chooses no target, affecting anxious students about exams, workers under pressure for presentations, or anyone trying to fall asleep while their mind is racing. In the midst of this mental race, we can find comfort in the words of Epicurus, who reminds us that the one who fears death will never do anything that truly matters for someone living now. While this phrase may sound a bit heavy, it's actually about the concept of transience, which is central to Stoicism. Everything changes. This includes the thoughts that seem so stubborn in our minds. When we overthink, we often hold on to our thoughts as if they were fixed parts of our lives. Accepting transience means understanding that thoughts come and go. They are not permanent. This understanding can be a beacon of hope when you feel trapped by overthinking. Practicing detachment involves developing the habit of letting go. It's like a mental cleanup, where we deliberately let go of thoughts that don't serve us. You can do this by imagining a river where each thought is a leaf floating on the surface of the water, drifting away, or perhaps seeing them as ever-changing clouds, forming, and eventually dispersing. This visualization not only brings immediate relief, but also cultivates a deeper understanding that the nature of thoughts is to change. Incorporating this practice into your daily life can transform your mental experience. It's not about forcing the thoughts to leave, but allowing them to go. Letting go is not giving up, it's an act of courage. It means you choose not to let repetitive thoughts occupy your mind without adding value. As you become more adept at this, you'll notice a new mental space, a serenity that has always been there, hidden beneath the noise of overthinking. Embracing transience is not just a technique, it's a shift to a calmer and more mindful way of living. Diving into this exercise, we can begin to understand that, just like the seasons, our worries also have cycles. They come, leave their marks, and eventually go, giving way to new thoughts and experiences. This constant dance between attachment and detachment teaches us to live lightly, allowing inner peace to flourish amid chaos. 3. Focus on effort, not outcome. Overthinking often emerges from our mind's dance with the future, its outcomes, its what-ifs, and its relentless possibilities of failure and disappointment. This projection into what's to come can paralyze us with apprehension as we fixate on the potential consequences of our actions rather than the actions themselves. We inhabit a results-driven society where the end often justifies the means, and this can lead us to believe that if the outcome is uncertain, the journey is not worth it. However, a Stoic quote from Epicurus offers us a clear directive. Do not explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our efforts and intentions rather than the outcomes we cannot control. This doesn't mean we shouldn't set goals or aspire to great things, but it implies that the true value lies in the quality of our effort, the integrity of our actions, and the virtue with which we navigate our path. To apply this technique, each time you find yourself overthinking about the potential outcomes of your efforts, consciously redirect your thoughts to the effort itself. Ask yourself, am I doing my best? Am I acting with mindfulness? Am I being true to my values? This focus is about being fully present in the process, doing the work, and knowing that there your responsibility ends. This focus on effort can free us from the chains of overthinking, allowing us to be in the moment, give our best without the heavy shadow of what might be obscuring our experience. It transforms our actions from mere steps toward a result into expressions of our character and commitment. With this shift in focus, one discovers that the journey is not just a means to an end, but an embodiment of living with purpose, where each step is an achievement in itself. The next 3 strategies will open the door to new perspectives, allowing you to tap into untapped strengths, foster practical resilience, and handle life's complexities with a sense of balance. Imagine, for example, that by focusing on effort, you begin to notice nuances and details that previously went unnoticed, providing not only a sense of accomplishment, but also continuous learning. By valuing daily effort, we create a life rich in experiences and meaning, where each attempt is an opportunity to grow and know oneself better. 4. Redirect your energy. Have you ever found yourself caught in a spiral of what-ifs and catastrophic scenarios, repeating the same worries until you feel mentally exhausted? It's like having multiple tabs open in your mind, each playing a video at full volume, and you seem unable to pause them. This mental multitasking is a hallmark of modern life, where the pressure to stay updated on everything can lead to an endless cycle of overthinking. But just like a messy desk, a cluttered mind needs organization. Redirecting your mental energy is not just about finding inner peace, but about regaining control and silencing the endless noise of what could be so you can appreciate what is. Seneca, another wise Stoic, offered wisdom with his words by saying, "True happiness is enjoying the present without an anxious dependence on the future." This insightful advice serves as a solid foundation for regaining control. When redirecting your energy to stop overthinking, start by grounding yourself in the now. Focus on one task, even if it's small, and channel your energy into completing it. This shift in focus pulls you out of the whirlwind of what-ifs about the future and anchors you in the present moment. The practical application is simple but profound. Engage in an activity that requires your full attention. It can be something as simple as tidying your workspace, going for a good walk, or immersing yourself in a book. These actions demand the now, not tomorrow or yesterday. By aligning your thoughts with your actions, you are not just distracting yourself, you are taking control of where your mental energy flows. Remember, Stoicism is not about suppressing thoughts, but about managing them. By choosing where to invest your mental energy, you are practicing a form of mental discipline. The goal is not to completely avoid overthinking. That would be an unrealistic expectation. The goal is to recognize when your thoughts are not serving you and have the tools to redirect them. It's like training a muscle. The more you exercise this power of redirection, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. You will find that the overwhelming tide of overthinking that once took over, you can be tamed step by step, with deliberate actions and presence in the present moment. By engaging in activities that demand your attention, such as practicing a musical instrument or tending a garden, you not only redirect energy but also find new forms of expression and creativity. These daily practices, however small they may be, build a mental refuge that shields from the gales of incessant thought, allowing you to live more fully and consciously. 5. Imagine your overthinking as an external force, something that settles in your mind like a mist that covers what was once a clear and sunny day. It starts with a single worry or idea, but soon expands like a storm arriving suddenly. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information, like hail in a storm, and our minds fill with questions like, what if? Logically, what's next? Logically, what could have been? Marcus Aurelius, the historical philosopher and emperor, once said that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This quote guides us to a powerful technique for dealing with overthinking. Visualize these thoughts as an external force. It's not about turning your thoughts into enemies, but recognizing that these intrusive thoughts do not define who you are. They are like unwelcome visitors to your mental peace. Imagine these thoughts as passing clouds over a towering mountain. You are this mountain, firm and unshakable, while the clouds move temporarily around you. How to defend against these invaders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without becoming emotionally involved. You can imagine placing these thoughts in a bubble and then watching them float away. This mental exercise not only reduces their weight, but also reinforces the idea that thoughts are transient and can only disturb your peace if you cling to them and give them power. Practicing this visualization creates a mental reflex that helps detach from these thoughts before they turn into an emotional storm. As you become more skilled at distinguishing yourself from this avalanche of overthinking, it becomes easier to see that you are not just the sum of your thoughts. This distinction works like a shield, similar to earplugs in a noisy environment. It's a deliberate and ongoing effort that strengthens with daily practice. When you notice you're overthinking, stop and visualize that thought as unnecessary noise, separate from who you are at your core. By doing this, you are not only protecting yourself against overthinking, but also reclaiming your mental space and tranquility, one step at a time. Each time you practice this technique, you are strengthening your ability to remain calm and find serenity amidst mental chaos. Considering that, in many ways, the human mind is a fertile field for ideas, learning to cultivate only what serves your well-being is an art form. This practice of visualizing thoughts as external and transient is a constant reminder that even on the cloudiest days, the sun still shines on the mountain that you are. 6. Set a specific time to worry. It's a common experience to have worries that bother us like a persistent hum, always present, sometimes almost imperceptible, but undeniably there. These worries can capture our thoughts at any moment, often when we try to focus on work, enjoy moments with friends, or even when we try to sleep. It's as if our mind is a stage, and these worries are unwanted actors who refuse to leave. But consider the wisdom of Stoic master Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This quote, despite seeming out of context, is a bold reminder that we must prioritize our mental peace over worrying about seeming complacent. Creating a specific time to worry is a strategic way to give these worries their moment of attention, but only during a specific time, not as the protagonists of your life. Set aside a specific time each day, perhaps 20 minutes in the afternoon, to allow yourself to fully attend to these worries. During this time, you delve into your worries, examine their roots, and even write them down. What are you really worried about? How likely are these scenarios? What can you do about it? This focused session often reveals that many of our worries are like shadows, seemingly large but without substance when confronted directly. This process also teaches your mind to understand that there is a time and place to worry, and it's not all day, every day. Once the worry time is over, move on. You have given your worries their designated time and now put them aside. Compartmentalizing in this way helps you regain control over your day. The goal is not to stop worrying completely. That would be impossible. But by containing your worries, you reduce their impact on your life. This technique is like tidying up your mental space, putting thoughts in their rightful places, and enjoying the calm of an organized space. You'll likely find that worries lose their power when they are not allowed to roam freely, and life becomes a little lighter and more enjoyable. 7. Break overwhelming thoughts into concrete steps. When overthinking overwhelms us, it can feel like we're carrying a giant rock. The size of our worries seems to equal the weight of the world, and we become trapped under the dense cloud of our own thoughts. This feeling is not unique. It is a shared human condition, exacerbated in a world that demands excellence in all areas of life: work, relationships, personal growth, and social status. The pressure to excel can paralyze us with indecision and fear. As a guide through this fog of overthinking, Marcus Aurelius once said, "The obstacle in the way becomes the way." This profound insight serves as a foundation for our technique, turning overwhelming thoughts into concrete steps. When your mind is overwhelmed by a significant worry or a complex problem, the trick is to break it down into smaller, manageable parts. Ask yourself, what is the next step I can take? Not the 5, 10, or 20 steps ahead, but just the next one. Acting on a single step may seem trivial, but it's a powerful antidote to overthinking. By focusing on one action, you channel the energy of worrying into doing. It's similar to untangling a large knot, working on one small tangle at a time. You are not ignoring the complexity of your worries. You are navigating through them with purpose and precision. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Each small step you take builds momentum, and as you look back, you realize that rock of worry is now a pile of pebbles. You have moved forward, step by step. This method teaches patience, resilience, and confidence in the ability to face challenges head-on. Suddenly, what seemed insurmountable is left behind, and overthinking transforms into a sense of accomplishment and clarity. With this, you discover that life can be approached with tranquility, and that each step, no matter how small, is a triumph in your personal journey. 8. Seek wisdom beyond yourself. When we find ourselves caught in the whirlwind of overthinking, our minds can become a complex maze where each attempt to find an exit seems to lead us to even greater confusion. We try to piece together a puzzle only to discover that the pieces seem to multiply infinitely, leaving us stuck in an endless cycle. The core of overthinking is a cycle that begins and ends within our own thoughts, often without offering us a clear way out. A sage, revered for his wisdom, gave us valuable advice. Consult your friend in everything, especially in matters concerning yourself. His advice can be useful where your own ego may distort your judgment. These simple words encapsulate a profound truth that can serve as a compass in the turbulent waters of overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking external perspectives can break the endless cycle of rumination. This clarity can come from a friend with a fresh perspective, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in books. To apply this principle in today's world, it's crucial to seek the opinions of people you trust and respect. This can be someone close or a professional with the necessary experience to guide you. Sharing your thoughts with them not only offers clarity by articulating what's in your mind, but also opens the door to receiving objective feedback that you may have overlooked while immersed in your thoughts. This technique not only offers practical solutions, but also reminds us of the value of human connection. By sharing our burdens with others, they often become lighter. This is not a sign of weakness, but rather a recognition of the collective strength we have as social beings. Let the wisdom of others be the light that guides you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you will find that the puzzle becomes easier to solve, not because the problems are less complex, but because you are not trying to solve everything alone. In connecting with others, you will find the support needed to face even the most intricate challenges, and together you will find solutions that you might not have seen on your own. 9. Practice voluntary discomfort. Voluntary discomfort is a powerful strategy to free us from the cycle of overanalysis that captures us. When we face uncomfortable situations or changes in life, our minds tend to create imaginary scenarios repeatedly, trying to predict every possible outcome and prepare for any imaginable discomfort. This constant mental rumination can be exhausting and keeps us stuck in our comfort zone, a mental prison where personal growth stagnates and overanalysis acts as the jailer. Consciously facing voluntary discomfort allows us to train our minds to handle uncertainty and reduce overanalysis. It's about performing small actions that take us out of our comfort zone, teaching us resilience and adaptability in the process. To integrate this practice into daily life, you can start with something small, like taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or walking instead of driving. Doing something that disrupts your usual routine and learning to deal with whatever feeling arises without judgment. It's important to understand that this practice is not meant to punish you, but to demonstrate that discomfort is not as scary as your over-analytical mind makes it seem. Voluntary discomfort has a paradoxical effect. By routinely exposing yourself to discomfort, the unknown becomes familiar and your mind learns to calm down. You become less reactive to change and more focused on what you can control, your responses and attitudes in difficult situations. This powerful shift in perspective not only reduces overanalysis, but also builds an internal strength of resilience that is not shaken by the natural fluctuations of life's circumstances. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you become more capable of facing challenges, accepting the unknown, and finding peace amid uncertainty. Over time, this practice provides you with a deep sense of confidence and inner strength in all facets of life. 10. Reflect on the transience of life. When we find ourselves trapped in the storm of overthinking, it's often because we focus too much on the minute details of our lives, losing sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become a tangle of, what if this happens, or what if that doesn't work, causing us to lose perspective. This microscopic view can make even the smallest problems seem insurmountable, consuming our mental space and energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short. We are not poorly provided, but we poorly use what we have." This reminder encourages us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence. Every moment spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a portion of life not savored. Stoicism urges us to ask ourselves if our worries will have any weight on the timeline of our life. To counter overthinking, we must regularly take a step back and consider our life in its entirety, recognizing that many of the things occupying our thoughts are transient and, in the long run, insignificant. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, pause and remember that life is fleeting. Ask yourself if this moment of overthinking is truly worth the limited time you have. Reflecting on the transience of life helps us naturally prioritize our experiences and concerns. This is not an invitation to become bleak or indifferent, but rather to appreciate the present and focus on what truly matters. It is a powerful antidote to overthinking because it aligns our attention with the present, our appreciation for the now, and diminishes the weight of future-focused anxieties. Allow the ephemeral nature of life to not be a source of anxiety, but a canvas on which you paint with the vibrant colors of presence and engaged living. It is with great admiration that I celebrate your journey to this point and the conclusion of this video. This demonstrates your commitment to personal growth. If you've made it this far, it's time to acknowledge your dedication and desire for personal transformation. By applying these 10 Stoic lessons, you are not only shaping a calmer mind, but also getting closer to true emotional and mental freedom. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel to continue your journey of self-discovery and powerful insights. Don't forget to leave a like and comment to the end, so I can see who the persistent and committed ones are in achieving success and financial independence. I promise to give a heart as a sign of recognition for your effort. On the screen, you'll find 2 video recommendations we've prepared with care and depth. Choose one of them and continue your journey of growth and evolution. See you in the next video.